All right. Well, good evening, everyone, and thank you so much for the invite. It's my pleasure to give you this presentation on Chromebooks, and we're going to have a little bit of a PowerPoint presentation, and then I'm going to give you a live demo. I'm using my Chromebook to provide you with this presentation. I want to say one thing too. We might have a little bit of interruption with my dogs. So hopefully, if there's a commotion going, I'll have to mute myself for a minute till we get everything sorted out. But with that, I'll get started. I'm going to share my screen. Up until a few years ago, conventional wisdom suggested that Windows machines or Macs were the best laptops. But that's rapidly changing. Chromebooks have caught up so much that they are a viable competitor for many buyers. Looking for an alternative to Microsoft Windows? Try a Chromebook. They're fast, secure, easy to use, and updates are completed in a couple of minutes. Chrome releases full OS updates about every 6 weeks. Minor updates, such as security fixes, happen about every 2 to 3 weeks. The average full Chromebook operating system updates is over 400 megabytes, and minor updates are about 50 megabytes. Chrome OS and Chromebooks are the future for mainstream consumers. This presentation covers why you might want to check out a Chromebook. It could become your alternative to satisfy your computer needs. Your Google account is like a Microsoft account or an Apple ID, consisting of an email address and password. For Google, it's a Gmail address and password. For example, it would be, in my case, mine's willjam at gmail.com plus the password that I assigned. The abbreviation PC is a generic form for personal computer, and it applies to any device that runs a computer operating system. Each platform has its advantages and disadvantages, such as size, weight, security, apps, performance, and battery life. Shopping Windows laptops, MacBooks, Chromebooks, you will see how these devices are getting closer and closer to each other's strength while reducing their weaknesses. Chromebooks are becoming a clear winner in all categories. What makes a Chromebook a PC? Well, think of a Chromebook as your one size fits all computer for internet dependent usage. Chromebooks are often referred to as cloud books, storing files on Google virtual servers. This means that very little is stored locally on your PC. Chromebooks are optimized for PC users who depend on Google for anything and everything, from email to editing documents to spreadsheet creation. Engineered to utilize online web applications and cloud storage rather than programs and hard drive storage. Chromebooks are the lightweight answer for cloud driven PC users. Unlike typical PCs, Chromebooks are a different breed of laptop computer. Instead of running Windows 10 or Mac OS, Google has engineered its own operating system called Chrome OS, based on the Linux kernel. Major tech manufacturers such as HP, Acer, Dell, and Lenovo offer their own versions of Chromebooks, effectively allowing brand loyal customers to get in on the Chromebook wave. These laptops are a minimalist dream for PC users worldwide. In other words, more computing, less fuss. Chromebooks are lightweight laptops that depend heavily on Google Chrome. While you have an OS specific features like file managers, app launchers, and so on, Most of your work and play relies within a Chrome tab. This Chrome dependency translates to low overhead, enabling a super fast startup and snappy performance on even low end hardware. Again, more computing without the fuss. Some of the core functions of Chromebooks is like all pure Android installs, Chrome OS focuses on Google services like Gmail, YouTube, Maps, and Docs. You can install web-based Chrome apps from the Chrome Web Store, Microsoft Office, and Android apps from the Google Play Store. Many require an internet connection, while others can function offline. The big question for many users is, do you have to be connected to the internet to use a Chromebook? And you do not. Certainly for cloud-based apps or remote desktop tricks, you need an internet connection. But many applications, including Google Drive, Kindle, Gmail, Google Calendar, let's say you store working versions of your files right on your Chromebook for offline. I'm sorry, is that including Google Drive, Kindle, Gmail, and Google Calendar, they let you store working versions of your files right on your Chromebook for offline use. Just about Android apps available through Google Play um, work fine without an internet connection. That includes Instagram, Dropbooks, and Evernote. Want to watch a movie, view your photos, or listen to your favorite music on your Chromebook? Just download them. You can use offline ready apps to keep using your Chromebook when it's not connected to the internet. For instance, here are some examples. You can read and write emails with offline Gmail. You can write a note or make a list with Google Keep. You can create or edit documents, slides, and spreadsheets with Google Drive, such as Google Docs, Sheets, and Google Slides. You also can view and RSVP to events using the Google Calendar. You can view and edit photos saved with the built-in photo editor. You can enjoy music or movies with the built-in media player. Google Play video content is available offline using a Chrome browser extension. Now, the big difference is that you'll notice right offhand immediately when you see a Chromebook is the Chromebook keyboard. Google has tweaked the keyboard of its Chromebooks in ways that emphasize how Chrome operating systems differ from Microsoft Windows and Apple Mac OS. This is a quick overview to explain what those differences are. While your Chromebook may differ slightly, this should help in providing a reference until you are used to using your new keyboard or until you remap the keys so they fit your preferences. Instead of the usual numbered function keys, F1, F2, etc., Google has substituted a row of various dedicated keys. Keep in mind that these can differ somewhat depending on the age and the model of your Chromebook. In fact, you will probably not have all the keys listed here. Here is a list of keys that you may find on the top row of your Chromebook in the left to right order in which they will appear with a short description for less common keys. The escape key, the usual get out of trouble key, that's on your left. We're going from left to right. The next key would be the back, which goes back one page. The next goes forward one page. It's very similar to a tablet that you've seen on other Google devices. There's a refresh key, which is a circle with an arrow, and that refreshes your page. You have a full page, which is a square with a small out-facing arrows. And you can toggle the current page to take up the full screen. Show windows, a square with two lines on the right, show all the open windows on the screen. If you have more than one virtual desktop, they will be shown at the top of the screen. You have a brightness key down and you have a brightness key up. You have a play and pause key, a mute, and a lower volume key. Also, a raised volume key. There's a lock screen, a quick way to go back to your lock screen. Between the tabs and the shift key on the left of the keyboard, where the cap locks usually resides, you may either have a launcher key or the search key depending on the system. The former will launch the Chrome OS app drawer, and the latter will bring up the search box. Here's an image of that shows the top row of a typical Chromebook keyboard. It may not look like it, but there are function keys hidden in that row. The keys between your escape and your power lock double as F1 through F10. Here's another view. As you can see, our escape key is to the left, and here's the back key and the forward key as I described, your brightness key, and the other keys as we described them. And there is a key that they call the everything key, which actually on typical keyboards, that is your I have to get out of it. I almost forgot what it is. On a PC keyboard, that is your caps lock key, but on a Chromebook is your everything key. The everything key or button, you might know this by another name. It's a new name, which on other older Chromebooks, they were called the launcher or the search button. The new name is for the launcher was chosen to reflect users, and it highlights that Chromebook have a dedicated button on their keyboards that enables you to search through files, apps, Google Drive, the web, and much more. And you'll still see references to launcher within your Chromebook, but the everything button will make it simpler to explain. Some other things about Chromebooks is that few applications are installed on the hard drive. Instead, the applications shown in your app launcher are links that open web applications in the Chrome web browser. You can view the applications on your computer in a couple different ways. By pressing the everything button opens the app launcher and places a cursor in the search bar. You can then scroll between your windows in the app launcher by using two fingers to swipe up or down on the touchpad, or you can click the app launcher icon, which is located on the bottom left of your desktop on your Chromebook shift. And I will demonstrate that in a few minutes. Your Chromebook comes with shortcuts for several applications already in place, and this will differ again from Chromebook to Chromebook. If you find an application not already existing on your Chromebook, it can be easily added through the Chrome Web Store. Chromebooks are designed for use while connected to the internet and signed into your Google account. Instead of installing traditional programs such as word processing and email clients, you often use web apps from the Chrome Web Store. Although some apps require connection to the internet, some apps will also allow you to use them offline, as we mentioned before, such as Gmail, Google Calendar, the Google Keep, Google Drive, and web-based Microsoft Office and OneDrive. Another feature of Chromebooks is they have what's called a multi-layer security architecture, which eliminates the need for antivirus software. We'll talk more about that later. So the things that will come on your Chromebook is Google Chrome. This is the browser. It allows you to view web pages and perform most tasks for you on your Chromebook. There's a Files app. This app allows you to manage your files on your Chromebook, your Google Drive account, and any external media you might have, very much like your um, File Explorer in Windows. Google Docs is a feature-rich word processing program, drawings which allow you to draw images. There's Google Sheets, which is the spreadsheet. There's Google Slides, which is similar to PowerPoint. There's Google Forms that you can use to create registrations, opinion polls, create and analyze surveys. Um, Maps, which is very similar to Google Maps that you find on your Android phone. And then there's the web store where you will find thousands of apps and themes and plugins to install in your Chromebook. And if you have a newer Chromebook, you also can utilize the Google Play Store, which will run the Android apps. And this is one of the most exciting features that's come along with the addition to the Google Play Store. While the Chrome OS allows you to run Chrome browser extensions and web apps and Chrome apps, the additional of the Android apps has dramatically increased the platform's value. So most modern Chromebooks come with Google Play Store right out of the box, and that allows you to quickly install most of your favorite Android apps. So if your Chromebook was introduced in or after 2017, it's guaranteed to run most Android apps. The overall functionality of the Chromebook was exponentially enhanced with this merger, and one of the most talked about perks that no other operating system offers. That means any Adobe or Microsoft apps created for Android are now available for installation on your Chromebook. And if you're not sure if your Chromebook qualifies, Google provides an extensive list that you can check. Google rolls out Android compatibility on a device by device basis, so it's good idea to find out if your specific model has that capability. So to conclude this presentation, before we go to the demo, we can say that Chromebook specifications often seem weak compared to their Windows laptop counterparts, and that's because they didn't need to be super powerful. Chrome OS was never intended to run desktop software or Android apps for that matter. But your Chromebook will stay new and stays new over time with the automatic updates on in the background. Your device gets the latest software without interrupting you. Again, computing without the fuss. So now we'll go into our hands-on demo, and then I will take some questions about anything that I didn't explain clearly or you want to have some further information. So I'm going to stop sharing at the moment. So much like Windows, we can have all the pretty backgrounds that we want. Google has a whole gallery, or Chromebooks rather has a whole gallery of attractive wallpaper that you can install. But the things I want you to focus on at the moment is this area below is called the shelf. And as you can see, I have, it's the equivalent of your Windows taskbar. So like the Windows taskbar, you can pin different applications to the shelf that you frequently use. So as you can see, I have a Chrome browser. I have even Microsoft Edge, and I have this is my files, which is very much like the File Explorer. I have Google Docs. I have Google Photos. I have YouTube. I have Messages, and I have Messenger. And then this, of course, is Zoom, which is currently running. And then further on, this allows me to, what they refer to as a tote, but it actually gives me additional pages that I can use. And this is all dependent on the Chromebook. This particular Chromebook has a touch screen. It also has a stylus. And so that's what that's for. This is a phone link, which they refer to as a called a, um, a hub, but it's actually very similar where I can actually get uh, things on my phone. So if you can see here when I click on it, it shows the phone that I have and any notifications that I might have on my phone. I can enable my phone to use it as a hotspot. I can silence and do a great deal of other things. That's part of one of the updates that's been forwarded to the Chromebook. This is our calendar and our date and time. Uh, this actually shows some notifications and some other things that are taking place right now. This is quite similar to the Windows um, notification area. And then, of course, you also see where this is my Wi-Fi that I'm connected to my Wi-Fi, and this is the battery uh, meter. Now, rather than having a Windows um, button, I have what we talked about earlier is the launcher. So it's this round button. And so when I click on this, I get something that looks very much like Windows 11, where I have all these icons here of the different applications that I have installed on my Chromebook. Along the top, this is our um, apps that I have opened, and I can continue where I left off. So we've used Chrome, we've used Zoom, we've used OneDrive, we've used Gmail, and of course we use File. You're probably curious to say, well, why does he have OneDrive on a Chromebook? Well, uh, many devices now are becoming cross-platform. So I have installed OneDrive since I still use a Windows computer, and I use the OneDrive as a storage where I can access all my documents regardless of what device I'm using. So if I click on my OneDrive, you'll see I can get to all my files that I've created on my Windows computer. And so it doesn't matter what I'm using my Windows computer or I'm using the Chromebook, I can still utilize those documents and files. So say, for instance, if you decide that you wanted to go to the Chromebook and you had created a bunch of Word documents on your old PC, if you happen to utilize OneDrive, then it's all those files and folders can be available to you, and you just use the web-based Microsoft products in order to access those. So you will not actually would not actually lose anything by switching to the Chromebook. I have, as you say, if I want to search the area, then at the very top I have search, and this uses the Google search. So I just type in whatever I wanted to. Say I wanted to look for electric cars. Oh, let me say, let's just say I want to go to Amazon. That's better. So Amazon.com will take me to the Amazon website. So there we are. And as you notice that I'm using the Chrome browser, so all these tabs are along the top, just like I would use any other, just like I would be using Chrome on my PC, on my IBM PC, on my Windows, on my Windows machine. Let's put it that way. So there's not much difference other than trying to get familiar with the keyboard, which really is a very small learning curve, actually. You won't find too much difference in using a Chromebook from just your regular Windows PC. And if you decide that you want to use the Microsoft products, you can use the web-based ones for free. They would not cost you anything to go to the web store and download those, and they look quite a bit like the ones that you have on your Windows machine. So if I wanted to, for instance, if I want to use Word, and I have Word installed a little bit differently because it's actually part of my my OneDrive, but you can install it separately. The reason why this is looking differently is because I subscribe to Microsoft 365, so that gives me access to all the documents. But you can get the web-based versions for free. But this should bring up what they look like, because this is the web-based version. So I just wanted to show you that it looks very much like the version that you use in Windows. Except that it's running in a browser. All right. I think we have some time for some questions. So I can clarify anything that I may have confused you on. Not.
Okay, when you turn on your computer, is there a way we can get, it asks them for a password, two-step verification. Is there a way you can get by that?
You have to use a Chromebook, you have to sign in with your Google account and password. I don't know if there's a way of bypassing that, like in Windows, where you have a screen log on. Let's see. I don't know if I know the answer at the top of my head. I can research it and find out. I know that when I log on, mine is tied to my phone, so it uses my phone as the authentication. but I don't know if I can actually log onto the computer without, like in Windows, you can bypass that. I'll just have to find out. I'm currently using to log onto the machine. This is before you log on to Google. It's just a password where the machine is passworded. Let's see here. Hold on. We can always ask.
Is this for a Chromebook? Chromebook? Yeah. Oh, okay.
Yeah, a Chromebook you have to log on just like you do a Windows machine, but in Windows you can bypass it by using that NetWiz command, and you don't have to log on to it, log on to the machine. Hold on, let me see here. Let's.
I think it's it. Oh, we got Bill. We got another question, Bill.
Okay.
Okay. She asked, when you have a Chromebook, you have Google Suite, which has Google Drive, and why don't you use that instead of OneDrive?
Well, that's a good question. The reason why I'm using OneDrive is because I have most of my files and folders, documents, and everything in OneDrive because I use multiple devices. My primary device is a Windows machine, and I have stored everything there. So in order for me to get to it, I have to use, I have OneDrive installed on my PC as well as my Chromebook. I should say my Windows machine as well as my Chromebook. But I can also, I do have some things stored in Google Drive.
Okay, what's,
Go ahead. Go ahead.
what's the life expectancy of a Chromebook for, how long can I expect to have it working and continue getting?
That's a very good question. I heard him. Chromebooks have a end of life. When you buy a new Chromebook, you're going to expect it to have at least 6 years of life where it will be, the software will be updated. At the end of that period, you no longer get any support. The device will still work, but you won't get any support after that time. One of the things you have to be aware of is that even though you could buy the Chromebook today, within the software, they have what's called an expiration date. And that has nothing to do with the date that you purchased the machine. It has to do with the date that the machine was manufactured.
And then is it practical to convert an older Windows PC to a Chromebook?
Well, I think Bob is looking at using what they call Flex, which is some software that Google has released that allows you to convert a PC to a Chromebook. And that doesn't have an expiration date, but it can be used to convert an older laptop, Windows machine to a Chromebook. And I think Bob is working on being able to convert an older Chromebook to Flex. And he could probably tell you more about that because he's working on that.
The new Chromebooks, do they have SD slots?
This is the one I have is a Samsung, and it has an SD slot. So you have to, it depends on the model and the manufacturer. So when you're shopping for your Chromebook, you'll want to look and see what inputs that you have. This one happens to have a micro SD slot, but I don't think all of them do. it's dependent on the manufacturer of the device. Also, it depends on how much you pay for it.
Bill, your opinion. Who's the best manufacturer for a Chromebook?
I would think you'd be pretty safe with Asus or a Lenovo or HP. I think any three of those manufacturers should get a pretty decent Chromebook. I think Asus would probably be the best value.
Okay, we're done? Okay. Any more questions, anybody? I think we're done.
Okay. Bill, thanks a lot. Appreciate it.
You're most welcome. I hope I provide you with some value, and good luck in your quest. The learning curve is not steep, and if you're just browsing the web or doing email, a Chromebook is not really a bad choice. And they're very light. I mean, they're very easy to carry around, and so you'll get a lot of value out of it.
All right.
So just go shopping and see what you can find for yourselves.
All right. Oh, thank you very much, Bill.
You're welcome.